on to our Breakfast Club call brought to you by Chosen Global. My name is Pamela Pacheco, aka Pam The Plug, the host of the Unplugged with Pam podcast. And I am excited to be with you like I am every Thursday morning. I apologize for the technical difficulties, guys, but man, it is all great. Plans change, decisions don't. Happy New Year. Praying everybody is absolutely incredible this morning. Hope you had an amazing celebration with your loved ones. And I'm excited because today we are talking about not only 2026, because more than anything, it is important for us to set the tone for this year. And how you set the tone reminds you to say, hey, 2026 is not a resolution, it is a rebrand. And why is it a rebrand? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving from alignment to execution. Type a L in the chat if you are watching the live for live, type of R if you're watching the replay. I remember when I first embarked upon entrepreneurship a dozen years ago, I was looking forward to these type of morning mentorship calls because not only was it giving me information, but it was giving me inspiration. And how you start the day sets the tone for your day. So kudos to each and every single one of you guys that decided to start your morning off with some fire, with some positivity. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Really quick, I just want to shout out everybody joining us from all over. I see we got Jamaica in the building. We got Tampa, Florida. We got Miami, Florida. Welcome, welcome. We got Philly in the building. We got Jersey, New York, Chicago, ATL. Shouty, how y'all doing? Welcome to our Breakfast Club call. I'm excited to be here with you guys. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. And if you are joining us once again, welcome home. All right, so let's get this party started. Like I said, we're talking about 2026 not only being a resolution, it's a rebrand from alignment to execution. If you were with us last week, we spoke about slowing down, resting, and aligning. Spend some time just, taking in all of the greatness from Christmas and the holidays. And it's important that we understand alignment is awareness. However, awareness doesn't change outcomes. Many people love to live in a space of reflection, but avoid responsibility. And in 2026, we're going to do things differently. This week is about what you do with clarity. Again, alignment without execution is just awareness. And if you're taking notes, take notes because note takers are history makers. It's important for you to realize that clarity asks you to make new decisions. So let's start with a new year mentality shift. If you know me, you know I'm always mindset is where your mind sits. Don't let anything allow it to sit there if it's not allowing you to grow in every aspect of your life. But it is very important that we talk about, like, let's just be real, resolution versus rebrand. Why New Year's resolutions fail? Why resolutions focus on habits, not identity. See, identity is what drives the behavior, not willpower. When you know that you are showing up as her, you are showing up as him, your identity, and we've talked about this before, is way beyond the titles that you occupy. It's way beyond the roles, it's way beyond the position, it's way beyond the title at work, it's way beyond the title in your family, it's way beyond all of these things. Because when you talk about your identity, it's who God says you are, but it's your belief systems, it's your character, it's all of these things. So why do so many people start the gym and then mid-January they're done? Right? In fact, so many gyms see the most memberships and subscriptions in January that it carries them throughout the year. Why? Because people put it on reoccurring. They put it on reoccurring. The payment keep coming out, but you never show up. And you one day, I'm like one day, and one day becomes no day because you're focusing on a resolution and not your identity. And your identity is what drives the behavior, not the willpower. So why is it important? Because rebrands happen internally before they happen externally. You do not need motivation. Okay. In fact, we all don't. You need a decision. Why do I say that? Because motivation, it will fade away. Motivation wears off like perfume. But when you have a vision and when you have identity, that thing sticks to you like crazy glue. Okay. Or gorilla glue in this instance. But again, you don't need a motivation. You need a decision. Decision It means it comes from the Latin word decide. It means to kill off, right? To go without, to kill off all other options, to kill off all other decisions. So when we talk about people setting the same goals every year, why they set the same goals every year and they're like, oh, I'm going to lose 10 pounds, I'm going to lose 20 pounds, but they never master the actual follow through because their identity is not in alignment. So it's an illusion if you think this year will be different. Why? Because if nothing changes about who you believe you are, the calendar won't save you. Let's get right into it. Your personal brand is leverage. And why I got to talk about this, because yesterday, I am living proof of this. And I anything I talk about, I live. Your personal brand is your reputation when you're not in the room. Opportunities will always follow clarity, and brands open doors, resumes can't. Visibility plus credibility equals leverage. Everyone has a personal brand, whether you are intentional about it or not. Why? Because let me tell you, whether it's building brands, whether it's building media, whether it's building communities, whether it's being events, I have seen so many underqualified people win because they position themselves better. Your personal brand is the asset that works when you're not present. Just yesterday, I was, holidays, shout out to everybody that reached out, by the way. Holidays are amazing, and I love being in a position of joy and gratitude. But I will tell y'all that navigating through holiday grief is sick. This year makes 5 years that my mom was called home to heaven, and traditions matter, customs matter so much, and we just are doing our best to be joyful. And I told my brother, I was like, look, I don't want to cook and I don't want to drive far. I want to stay near. I was like, let's just see what we could pick up. I was like, I don't want to drive far, but I want to eat good. I said, you know what? Let me see if I could get a brand partnership today. And literally in the afternoon, and I'm talking about 3:30, 4 o'clock, I had this idea. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna make a few phone calls. So I saw 2 restaurants. And before I could even call the second restaurant, I went in the first restaurant, and shout out to ChatGPT, because again, I'm like also cleaning my home in the midst and I got work to do. So I'm doing all of the things. And I was like, okay, well, my chat gbt, I have programmed it so it knows my voice. It has my media kit, and if you don't know what a media kit is, it basically is my resume in media, my resume, whether it is me talking on TV, the community events that I host, whether it is my accolades from my brand engagement, all of these things. So I put my media kit, I said, hey, help me write a quick pitch collab for this restaurant. I wanted seafood because I'm a lobster girly and a seafood girly, right? But I wanted seafood and I wanted all the things in sushi too. So I was like, write this email collab really quick. Put it together, use my voice, use my identity, use my media kit, use all my accolades. And this is who I want to include. This is the value that I want to add. This is how I want to position it. This is what I want the message to be. And I want it to be short and sweet and to the point. So I did that, and I sent, and I had something compiled for an email. I had something compiled for Instagram message, a DM message, and also a follow-up text, right? Because after I speak to them, I want to be prepared to send a follow-up text. Fortune is in the follow-up, okay? Bonus training for today. Fortune is in the follow-up. If there's anything that I learned in building businesses, building consulting firms, building brands, building network marketing, is Fortune is in the follow-up. It doesn't matter what it is that I am doing. I'm always the girl that is going to follow up. You don't ever got to worry about that from me. And if you know me, you know that I'm speaking nothing but facts. So I called and I got a brand partnership. And not only did I get a brand partnership, it was a paid collab. And I love, me, it ain't no fun if your friends can't get none. So I was able to bring 6 more adults with me. So it was a total of 7 adults and 4 children, right? And we got paid to do it. And we got our meals comped. And we're adding value. And I got to make a great connection. And my whole thing is, how can I add more value than what you're giving me? That's always who I am. Why? Because I know that anything in life is what you're getting is always a byproduct of what it is that you are giving. So if you want more in 2026, you also have to ask yourself, what am I giving? Am I adding value to the communities that I wish to extract things from? I'm always that person that you're always going to see serving, because I do believe that it is very, very important to make sure that you are doing so. So make sure that you are going out there. It was absolutely incredible. Let me tell you something. Your personal brand is the asset that works when you are not present. What is it saying about you? When people look up your brand, is it speaking volumes? Now, if you're the person that's like, well, Pam, I know that I need to use my personal brand as leverage. I don't know where to start. Then you need to DM me the word challenge. I am doing a 5-day challenge to help you build your brand or your business. I only took on about 3 clients at the ending of 2025 because I wanted to kind of just give them my focus, undivided attention. And I'm going to tell you, their businesses and brands are already skyrocketing. They're on their way to monetizing. It is absolutely incredible what you can do when you are intentional about what it is that you want to do and who it is that you want to become. So when I tell people that your identity drives behavior, not willpower, because you have to ask yourself. And a lot of the times I'm like asking myself, whenever I'm making a decision or whenever I'm even being leading a conversation, I said, what is 20, what is the billionaire Pam will do in this situation? Are you showing up as her? Are you showing up as this world changing, legacy leaving, legacy creating, abundant person that is helping multitudes of people? Are you showing up as that person that is making a contribution to humanity that will outlive you? These are questions that I'm asking because you need to be intentional about how it is that you're showing up, how it is that you are not only branding yourself, but how it is that you are positioning yourself in the marketplace to add value. You need to be intentional about what it is that you're speaking over yourself. You need to be intentional about what it is that you are believing about yourself. Because if you are not intentional about these things, you will live the same year over and over and over again. Again, alignment is awareness, but awareness alone does not change outcomes. Too many people stay stuck in this raft, this thing, and they're like they're doing the same thing over and over again. My friends, that's the definition of insanity. So when we talk about resolutions focus on habits, not identity, it's important for you to say, who am I? Who am I? Who do I want to be? What is that north star for my life? What is that vision for my life? What is it that I want to be remembered for? What is it that I want to be known as? So again, DM me the word challenge, right? And we'll talk. We'll have a 30-minute complimentary strategy session for your brand or your business, whether you want to rebrand or you want to just start over, but you will be clear on what these things are for you. Now, let's talk a little bit about vision mapping for 2026. Goals are outcomes. Vision is direction. Vision answers, again, who am I becoming? Most people, they're setting goals without actually redesigning their life. Visions need categories, not the vibes. I absolutely love that. When let me tell you, this is going to be January 10th. We're 9 days away, by the way, from our 3rd annual Mastermind and Mimosas. If you've been to the first one, it was cool, it was nice, it was beautiful. It's a mastermind goal setting vision board brunch, right? We have a vision board party. It's a power hour, networking hour, and brunch for the VIPs. We have limited seating. I was not going to do it this year, full transparency. And God was like, nope, I need you to do it again. I was like, okay, because it's a lot of work that goes into it. And I'm so grateful for our team because I don't do this alone, but it's a lot of work, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to our amazing sponsors. Go High Level, my Swiss Army knife of marketing and automation. Absolutely love it. Shout out to Financially Fluent, Dream Nation Media, Chosen Global, Blessed Visuals, our partner sponsors. We're going to have so many incredible individuals in this. We're talking about from Roxanne, Colorado, global speaker, business strategist. We're going to Dove Weaver, Coach Detox. Not only is he a podcast host, again, peak performance habits. We're going to talk about financial literacy and wealth building strategies from the one and only Erica Rivera and the legendary Carlos Gutierrez. We're going to have holistic life and business coach Josh Valentine in the building. We're going to have world changing brand strategist, your favorite content creator and travel bestie, Miss Jasmine Charbonnier, aka your Tampa bestie, in the building, leading the vision board section of it, which I absolutely love. Last year, I got to go to Jasmine's vision board party. And y'all know, a lot of times when you're hosting these events, I was actually the one hosting the vision board last year, like I am every year. And I didn't really get to do mine. So when Jasmine hosted one for her family and friends, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going. And so many of the things I got done on my vision board. So I'm so excited because when you talk about alignment is and executing, she's absolutely incredible. And I'm excited that she's going to be actually be leading this. So again, when you talk about why people stay stuck, it's because most people are setting goals without actually redesigning their life. And your vision needs categories, not just vibes. And we're going to walk through all of the categories of life on a holistic level, right? The 5 F's. When it's your faith, we're going to talk about spiritual alignment. We're going to talk about the peace. We're going to talk about obedience, your fitness, your energy, your consistency, sustainability. We're going to talk about your family, presence, boundaries, priorities. We're going to talk about your fortune. Your fortune is not only your money, right? Your fortune is also your brand, it's your business, it's your career, it is your income. And of course, we're going to talk about fun, joy, rest, experiences, because rest is not a reward, it's a requirement. And I'm guilty of it too. And that's why commitment always does last longer in the context of community. And it's important for you to ask yourself, what version of me would make these goals inevitable? What version of me is going to make these goals inevitable? And if you want to join us at Mastermind Mimosa January 10th, even if you're not having a mimosa, whether you want to partake in the Power Hour networking, or you want to partake in the goal setting, peak performance habits section, or financial literacy, or the brunch, DM me, Mastermind, and we will definitely get you in the building. We'll get you registered. We also do have virtual availability. Tickets are available on Eventbrite, or just DM me and I will make sure you guys are in the building. Now, let's talk a little bit about why people are staying stuck. I know it's a little, I don't want to be heavy, but we gotta talk about this because there's an awareness. There has to be an awareness, right, when it comes of this gap. Motivation fades. Why? Because motivation is like perfume, but a vision sticks to you like crazy glue. Because that vision is going to pull you when motivation can't push you. Systems say stay. Systems stand for saving yourself some time, energy, and money. People don't fail from lack of desire. It's the lack of structure. It's the lack of intentionality. And the lack of structure is really what creates burnout. And a lot of times we also have this do it yourself mindset. And that do it yourself mindset slows growth. Blind spots are invisible without guidance. It's interesting because my one of the clients that I took on recently, we've been working together for, I want to say, a little bit, going on a month now. He's like, man, I didn't see this blind spot, and I'm so excited because you're someone that I not only want to that I want my to be my business consultant and brand consultant for, these 6 months, but I want to see how we can possibly work equity, because I just want to have you in my back pocket as long as possible and forever. I was just like, absolutely, right? Of course. Like, this is like a coach and consultant's dream when you're adding so much value to people, that the value you bring is undeniable, right? You're helping not only their business grow, but you're helping them grow as people, because you're able to see certain blind spots that are invisible to them. And it's important that you are in alignment with this, because clarity, my friends, is very cheap, but execution is rare. And when you talk about why coaches exist, why consultants exist, why masterminds exist, it's for this exact reasoning. You need to understand that if you are not surrounded by the people that are helping you, by people that are not only helping you navigate where you're at, but where it is that you want to go, where it is that you want to be. It is absolutely of the essence to the person that you are becoming, to the vision that you have, that you want to bring to fruition. So it's having more of these people around you. And if you're that person that's like, man, Pam, you know what? I'm not going to be in town for that day, but I definitely understand what you're talking about. DM me the word coach, right? We'll get you on a 30-minute strategy session and we'll talk about what it is that you need, what it is that's in alignment with you, what it is that we need to be intentional about this year, what it is that you want to be known for, what it is that you want that legacy to be, what it is that you want that impact to be in people's lives. Again, clarity is cheap. Execution is rare, and commitment always lasts longer in community. Now, when we talk about, identity leads to positioning and positioning leads to execution. Why do I say this? Identity determines decisions. When you believe you are her, when you believe you are him, you are going to show up that way each and every single time. Each and every single time. So if you understand that identity is what's determining your decisions, well, identity, why does it determine your decisions? Because your identity is who you believe you are. And positioning is what determines opportunities. Why? Because your positioning is nothing more than people's perception. Positioning is how you're perceived. So if you're talking about execution determines results, why? Because execution is what you do consistently. If identity shifts, your behavior follows. This is why so many people just drop the New Year's resolutions. By the time Mastermind and Mimosa usually it's like January 10th, January 11th-ish. People are like, it's kind of dumb. But if your identity shifts, your behavior will follow just the same way. So when you talk about, creating awareness, this is one of the reasons why I'm relaunching the 5-day brand or business challenge for people starting the new year off, because this is not only going to be focused on your brand clarity, it's going to be focusing on your messaging, it's going to be focusing on your positioning, it's going to be focusing on your visibility, it's going to be focusing on your monetization. I love when people are like, man, I can't afford to do this. You can't afford not to. So when you already position in your mind and you say the words, I can't afford, you can't lives on won't street. When you say I can't do something, automatically you closed off all of the options. Can't lives on won't street. So when you can say I can't, replace it with how can I afford this? Because when you realize the importance of these things, the people that can't afford it usually are the peoples that can't afford to go without. So it's asking yourself, how can I do something different? Because if you have all of these dreams and you have all of these goals and you have all of this big vision for your life, but you don't have the people holding you accountable, and you don't have the people that are not only holding you accountable, but people that have results, people that have tangible results, right? That are not actually only talking about it, but walking the talk and living it out. This is for the people who don't want to drift into 2026. So make sure you're DMing me the word brand challenge or challenge. If you're that person that's like, man, I need a 5-day reset on my business. I need a 5-day reset on my life. Maybe I need a 5-day reset on my brand. I just don't even know where to start, or already started and I just need to take it to the next level. Let's go. Let's go. Commitment lasts longer in community. And I am here to serve you. Again, this is for the people who just don't want to drift into 2026. Now, why, it's important even more so, because proximity and commitment is everything. The vision that it is that you need, the vision that it is that you have, it needs the correct environment. Proximity compresses time frames. Proximity is always power. The live spaces where we have these events are transformational. Why? Because they accelerate decisions. See, I don't just do motivational speaking. We do transformational speaking. We are doing kingdom work here to change people's lives. That's why when so many people are sleeping right now, right, because they're hungover from last night, and I'm not judging, but the truth is the truth. It's all good. I've been up since 7 o'clock. Why? Because we got things to do. We got lives to change. We got lives to impact. I am on assignment. I am intentional about who it is that I am becoming. I am intentional about how it is that I want to show up. I am intentional about the legacy that I'm going to leave on this earth. I am intentional about utilizing my gifts so that I can serve humanity to make a contribution that is going to outlive me. So, yeah, it's not always going to be pretty. No, it's not always going to be perfect. Yeah, I might have technical difficulties and have to start the live stream all over again. But you know what? Plans change, decisions don't. When you are so crystal clear about who it is that you are showing up as, because you are very crystal clear about your identity, you will be intentional about every single aspect of your life, from what you think to what you do, to where you go, to what you don't do, to what you wear, to how you speak, to what you show up as, each and every single time. Proximity absolutely compresses time. So making sure that you are in a space where you're like, man, I need to set some goals. Well, this is why January 10th exists. This is why we break down goal setting. And you're talking about people that have built international brands, international businesses that have been top producers and top performers year after year after year that you get to learn from. Vision board or prayer board experience, or both, whichever you decide to partake in, right? But you got to map out what that vision looks like. And Jasmine is going to absolutely take it step by step through this entire process. And I love that you also get access to my vision board workbook completely free for being in the room, whether you are joining us live or you are joining us online. Tickets are available on Eventbrite. And if you can't find it for whatever reason, just DM me mastermind, and I will get it to you. We're going to go through peak performance habits and having coaches and strategists in place, from Josh Valentine to Dove Weaver, to Roxana Colorado, to myself, people that have been experts in this subject matter, is going to help you take it to a next level. We're going to talk about financial literacy and wealth strategies, because if you do not have strategies in place, all of these things that we are doing to monetize, all of these things that we are doing to grow, what is the point? So it's important. We're going to be learning from sharp people, people that have done this over and over again, from Erica Rivera, who is a wealth coach, to Carlos Gutierrez, who not only is a wealth strategist, financial literacy strategist, who has worked and has a background in banking as well, from business banking to personal banking, commercial banking, now has built a multi-million dollar insurance agency, health and life insurance as well, but is educating, community builder, philanthropy. And more than anything, you're going to have community accountability. Every breakthrough, guys, and I mean every breakthrough season in my life, every breakthrough season in my life, it started with me being in the right room. So get in the room. 2026 does not respond to wishing. It responds to clarity and execution. You don't need to be different. You just need to be more intentional. This year, I'm going to release you right now and I'm going to set you free. Okay? This year is not about trying harder, it's about choosing better. Don't drift into your future, decide your way into it. Make the correct choices that are in alignment with your assignment so that you can execute. Be intentional about how you're showing up and where you are showing up, because it is your choice and you have been chosen for greatness. And breakfast has been served. Thank you guys so much. Great day and God bless. Make sure you guys follow Chosen Global on YouTube. Make sure you guys are following the Unplugged with Pam podcast on all major live streams. And we'll see you guys back here. And I'll see you January 10th at Mastermind and Mimosas. Blessings on blessings. Let's get it. Breakfast.